My girlfriend Avery looked her coworker dead in the eye and said, "Oh, him. He is just a friend," while I was standing right there holding her hand at her company holiday party. The room went silent. Her coworker looked confused, and I felt like I had been slapped across the face. What happened next made me realize I might not actually be her boyfriend at all. I am still processing this as I type. Honestly, I don't even know where to start, but I need to get this out because I feel like I am going crazy. I am Mason, 30, and I am a paramedic here in Austin. Been doing it for 8 years. Love my job despite the crazy hours and emotional toll. I am the type of guy who runs toward emergencies, not away from them. But right now, I am running away from my own relationship, and I don't know if that makes me a coward or smart. Avery is 28. Works as a social media manager for some tech startup. She has got this whole Instagram influencer thing going on. The side 50K followers. Always taking photos of her food, her outfits, her aesthetic lifestyle. We have been together for almost 2 years, and honestly, I thought we were solid. I mean, we talk every day, spend most weekends together. I have a drawer at her apartment, all the relationship stuff, you know. But lately, something's felt off. She has been more distant, less affectionate. Always on her phone, even when we are together. When I would try to take a photo with her for her stories, she would make excuses. The lighting's bad. Or I look terrible right now. Or this doesn't fit my feed aesthetic. I thought maybe she was just stressed about work. Last Friday was her company's holiday party. She had been talking about it for weeks. How important it was for networking. How she wanted to make a good impression. She asked me to come as her date, and I was excited finally getting to meet her coworkers, being part of her professional world. I bought a new shirt, got a haircut, the whole thing. The party was at this trendy rooftop bar downtown. Avery looked incredible, she always does. She introduced me to a few people at the beginning, but something felt weird about it. She would say, "This is Mason," but never really explain who I was to her. I chalked it up to professional networking, keeping it casual. About an hour in, we are standing by the bar, and I am holding her hand while she is talking to this guy from her marketing team. Let's call him Brad. Nice enough guy. Been asking me about being a paramedic. Seemed genuinely interested. The conversation was flowing, and I was actually having a good time. Then this woman walks up to them, blonde, probably mid-30s, wearing one of those power suits that screams I am important. She looks at Brad, then at Avery, then her eyes land on me and our joined hands. "Avery, who is this?" she asks with this bright, curious smile, and that is when it happened. Avery dropped my hand like it was on fire and said, without missing a beat, "Oh, him. He is just a friend, just a friend." I swear to God, the world stopped spinning for a second. Brad's face went confused. He would literally just been hearing about my job, my stories, clearly understanding I was there with Avery. The woman raised her eyebrows like she was trying to figure out why this friend had been holding her coworker's hand. I stood there like an idiot, feeling my face burn red, not knowing what to say. Do I correct her? Do I play along? Do I just walk away? Avery kept talking like nothing happened, but I could see her shoulders tense up. She knew what she had just done. I excused myself to the bathroom and just stood there staring at myself in the mirror, trying to process what the hell just happened. 2 years together, and I am just a friend, in front of her colleagues, while we were literally holding hands. When I came back, the woman was gone, but Brad was still there. He looked at me weird for the rest of the night, like he couldn't figure out what my deal was. The whole vibe was ruined. On the drive home, I finally brought it up. "So, just a friend, huh?" Avery got immediately defensive. "Mason, don't make this weird. Sarah is super judgmental about office relationships, and I didn't want to deal with her opinions tonight. It is not a big deal, not a big deal." Avery, we have been together for almost 2 years. How is it not a big deal that you are calling me just a friend? You are being way too sensitive about this. It was easier to just say that than get into a whole thing about our relationship with someone I barely know. Why are you making drama out of nothing? That shut me down. Am I being too sensitive? Was she right that it was just easier? But here is what I keep thinking about. If someone asked me who Avery was, I would never in a million years call her just a friend. She is my girlfriend. I am proud to be with her. I want people to know she chose me. So why doesn't she feel the same way? I have been replaying every interaction from the past few months, and now I am seeing patterns I ignored before. She never posts photos of us together on her Instagram, and trust me, she posts everything else. When we run into people she knows, the introductions are always vague. She has never brought me around her family even though she has met mine multiple times. It is like I am her secret, but I don't know why. Am I overreacting here? Is calling your boyfriend of 2 years just a friend normal in some situations? Or is this a red flag that she is not as serious about us as I thought? I feel stupid even asking, but I need outside perspective because I am drowning in my own head right now. Little did I know. I was about to discover that maybe in her mind I really was just a friend all along. Update 1. I confronted Avery again, and you guys, it is so much worse than I thought. First, thank you to everyone who commented on my original post. A lot of you said I wasn't overreacting, and that gave me the confidence to bring this up again instead of just letting it slide. So here is what happened. I waited a few days to bring it up because I wanted to make sure I wasn't just being emotional. Sunday night, we were at her apartment watching Netflix. And I said, "Can we talk about what happened at your holiday party?" She immediately got that look, you know the one. Eyes rolling. Shoulders slumping. Like I was about to ruin her entire evening by bringing up my petty drama. Mason, I thought we already discussed this. I told you why I said that. I know what you told me, but I need you to understand how it made me feel. When you call me just a friend, after 2 years together, it makes me question where I stand with you. That is when she really went off on me. Oh my God, Mason, you are being so needy right now. Do I really need to announce to every single person we meet that you are my boyfriend? Do I owe everyone a detailed explanation of our relationship status? It is not about announcing it to everyone. Avery, it is about not actively hiding it. There is a difference between being private and being ashamed. Ashamed? Are you serious? I am not ashamed of you. Then why will not you post photos of us? Why haven't I met your family? Why do you introduce me like I am some random guy you barely know? She got quiet for a minute, and I thought maybe I was finally getting through to her. But then she said something that made my blood run cold. Maybe because I don't need everyone knowing my business. Maybe because I like keeping parts of my life separate. And maybe because I don't feel like I need to validate our relationship through other people's opinions. That is not what I am asking for. And you know it. Look, Mason, if you cannot handle dating someone who values her privacy and independence, then maybe you should find someone else who is going to post couple selfies every day and introduce you as their boyfriend to every stranger on the street. The way she said it, like dating me was some kind of burden she was doing me a favor by taking on. Like I should be grateful she even acknowledges my existence in private. I tried one more time. Avery, I just want to feel like you are proud to be with me. Is that really too much to ask? You are making drama out of nothing, Mason. This is exactly why I didn't want to get into it at the party. You blow everything out of proportion, and that is when it clicked for me. She wasn't just dismissing my feelings about the party incident, she was dismissing me. Period. Every concern I brought up got labeled as drama, or me being too sensitive or needy. I have been thinking about it all week, and I keep coming back to this. In a healthy relationship, if your partner tells you something hurt them, your first response should be empathy, not defensiveness. Even if you don't understand why it hurt them, you should care that it did. Avery doesn't care that it hurt me. She cares that I am bothering her about it. But here is the thing that really gets me. I have been paying attention to how she talks about other people in her life. Her best friend Emma, she calls her my girl and gushes about her constantly. Her work friend Tyler, she introduced him to me as one of my favorite people. Her freaking yoga instructor gets more enthusiastic recognition than I do. I am starting to think that maybe, to Avery, I really am just a friend. A friend who sleeps over sometimes and takes her to dinner. A friend she is comfortable with but not proud of. A friend she keeps around because I am convenient and low maintenance. The worst part, I think she has been waiting for me to figure it out and just go away quietly. Well, I am not going away quietly, but I am not making drama either. I am just stepping back, seeing what happens when I stop initiating everything. Edit. A few people asked what I mean by stepping back. I stopped texting her good morning every day. I stopped making weekend plans for us. I stopped asking about her day and her work and her Instagram posts. Basically, I stopped doing all the emotional labor I had been doing to keep us connected. Want to know what happened? Nothing. She hasn't noticed. Or if she has, she hasn't said anything. It has been 3 days, and the only texts I have gotten from her are asking if I can pick up her dry cleaning. I live closer to the place, and whether I want to split the cost of a Hulu subscription. That tells me everything I need to know. Update 2, you guys. I witnessed something last night that has left me completely speechless. I need to get this out because I feel like I am in some kind of alternate reality. Quick update on where things stood. After I stopped initiating contact, Avery finally noticed about a week later. She texted asking why I was being distant and if I was still upset about that party thing. I told her I was just giving her the space she seemed to want. She said I was being dramatic and that she missed me. We made plans to hang out this weekend. So last night was her friend Emma's birthday party. Emma and I have met several times over the past 2 years. She has been to our apartment. We have all gone out together. She knows we are dating, or I thought she did. The party was at this trendy bar in East Austin. I knew maybe 3 people there besides Avery and Emma, but I was trying to be social, making conversation, being the supportive boyfriend. Everything seemed normal at first. About an hour in, I am standing near the bar ordering drinks for Avery and myself when I overhear her talking to a group of people I don't recognize. They are asking about her dating life, whether she is seeing anyone, the usual party small talk. And Avery says, I swear I am not making this up, nah. I am just focusing on myself right now. Dating is so complicated, you know. I am having way more fun being single. Being single, I am literally standing 15 feet away from her, holding 2 drinks, one of which is for her. I have been at this party for an hour as her date. We drove here together. We are planning to go back to her apartment together tonight. But she is single. One of the girls in the group notices me approaching and asks Avery, "Who is that guy bringing you a drink?" Without missing a beat, Avery takes her drink from me and says, "Oh, that is just Mason. He is a friend." There it is again. Just a friend. But this time, I was ready for it. This time, I didn't walk away to the bathroom to process. I stood right there and said, "Actually, I am her boyfriend of 2 years." The look on Avery's face, pure panic. The group went quiet. One of the girls looked back and forth between us like she was trying to solve a puzzle. "Boyfriend?" the girl asked. "But you just said you were single." Avery's cheeks turned red. It is complicated. We are figuring things out. 2 years. And we are figuring things out. I set down my drink and said, "Actually, it is not complicated at all. We have been together for 2 years. I thought we were in a committed relationship, but apparently I was wrong." Then I walked away, left the party, got an Uber home, and spent the night questioning every interaction we have ever had. Avery showed up at my apartment at 2 a.m., completely drunk and crying. She was banging on my door saying she could explain, that I embarrassed her in front of people she barely knew, that I made her look like a liar. I almost didn't let her in, but my neighbors were starting to peek out of their doors. So I opened up, "Mason, you cannot just do that to me in public. Those people don't know our situation." "What situation, Avery? What situation requires you to pretend you are single when you are not? It is not that simple. You don't understand the pressure I am under right now with my career and my brand and everything." "Your brand? What does your brand have to do with acknowledging that you have a boyfriend?" That is when she said something that made everything crystal clear. "My followers don't want to see me coupled up all the time. Single girls get better engagement. Brands want to work with influencers who appeal to single women. It is business. Mason, business. Our 2-year relationship is bad for business, so I am what? A liability. Something that hurts your image? You are twisting my words. I am just trying to build something here, and having a serious relationship plastered all over my social media doesn't fit the vibe I am going for. Avery, I am not asking you to plaster our relationship anywhere. I am asking you to stop pretending I don't exist. I don't pretend you don't exist. You told a room full of people you were single while I was standing right there. She went quiet then, finally said, Look, maybe we want different things. Maybe you need more attention than I can give right now. And that is when it hit me. She is not going to change. This isn't about her career, or her brand, or her privacy. This is about the fact that she doesn't want to be in a public relationship with me specifically. Maybe she is keeping her options open. Maybe she is embarrassed by me. Maybe she just likes the freedom of appearing single while having the security of a relationship. Either way, I am done being her secret. I told her we needed to take a break. She alternated between crying and getting angry, saying I was throwing away 2 years over nothing, that I was being selfish and not understanding her goals. But I finally had clarity. I said, Avery, if acknowledging my existence threatens your goals, then I am not the right person for you. She left around 4 a.m. I haven't heard from her since. Edit, a lot of people are asking if I think there is someone else. Honestly, I don't know. But what I do know is that whether there is another guy or not, she has been treating me like a placeholder, like someone convenient to have around until something better comes along, or until being with me publicly becomes advantageous to her somehow. Several people mentioned that successful influencers have boyfriends and husbands they post about all the time. That is when I realized her business excuse was just another lie to make me feel bad for wanting basic relationship respect. Final update. I am writing this from the coffee shop where I had my first date with someone who has never once called me just a friend. Her name is Riley. She is a nurse at the children's hospital, and when people ask who I am, she lights up and says, "This is my boyfriend Mason." Like she is genuinely happy they asked. But let me back up and tell you how we got here. Because the last few months have been a journey. After that disastrous night at Emma's party, Avery and I didn't speak for about 2 weeks. Then she started the texting campaign. At first, it was angry messages about how I humiliated her and sabotaged her social life. Then it shifted to sad messages about missing me and wanting to work things out. Finally, she tried the guilt trip. How could I throw away 2 years over something so small? I didn't respond to any of it, but I did do something that probably saved my sanity. I unfollowed her on all social media. And you know what I discovered in those first few weeks after we broke up? She posted more photos of herself, more hot girl summer content, more living my best single life posts than she had in months. It was like she was celebrating. That told me everything I needed to know about how she really felt about our relationship ending. About a month after we broke up, she showed up at my firehouse during my shift. My captain had to call me over because there was a young lady asking for me at the front desk. I thought it might be an emergency, maybe someone I knew had been in an accident. Nope, just Avery. Dressed up like she was going to brunch, asking if we could talk. Mason, I have been thinking a lot about us, and I realize I made some mistakes. I want to try again. What is changed? Avery. I understand now why you were hurt. I could have handled things better. Notice she didn't say she was wrong, just that she could have handled things better. Okay, so what would you do differently? Well, I could introduce you as my boyfriend sometimes. When it is appropriate sometimes, when it is appropriate. 2 years together. And she is offering to acknowledge my existence sometimes. Avery. I need someone who is proud to be with me all the time. Not just when it is convenient or appropriate. You are being unrealistic. No couple shares everything publicly. I am not asking for everything publicly. I am asking for basic recognition that I exist in your life. She got frustrated then, started saying I was holding her back, that I didn't understand her ambitions, that I wanted to control her image. Same arguments as before, just packaged differently. I told her I hoped she found what she was looking for, but it wasn't going to be with me. She called me selfish and stormed off. That was 4 months ago, and I haven't heard from her since. But here is the good part. 3 months ago, I met Riley. I was at the hospital dropping off a patient elderly guy who had had a fall. As we are wheeling him into the ER, this nurse comes over to take the handoff. She has got kind eyes, curly red hair pulled back in a ponytail, and she is talking to my patient like he is her own grandfather. Gentle, reassuring, making jokes to keep him calm. After we transferred care, she walked me back toward the ambulance bay. "Thanks for taking such good care of him," she said. "You could tell he felt safe with you guys." We started talking, and I found out she had been wanting to learn more about what paramedics do in the field versus what she sees when we bring patients in. I offered to buy her coffee sometime and tell her about it. Our first date was supposed to be 1 hour. We talked for 4. She asked about my work with genuine curiosity, not like it was something she had to tolerate. When I told her stories about calls I had been on, she listened like they mattered. When I showed her a photo from our firehouse softball team, she asked about my teammates by name. On our second date, we ran into one of her coworkers at dinner. Without hesitation, Riley said, "Sarah, this is my boyfriend, Mason. Mason, this is Sarah from pediatric ICU. Boyfriend." Just like that. No hesitation, no looking around to see who might overhear, no calculating whether it was appropriate to claim me publicly. When I posted a photo of us on my Instagram a few weeks later, she reposted it to her story with heart emojis and tagged me. When we went to her friend's wedding last month, she held my hand during the ceremony and introduced me to everyone as her boyfriend. This is what it feels like to be with someone who is proud to be with you. We have been together 3 months now, and not once has she made me question where I stand with her. When people ask who I am, she doesn't hesitate. When we take photos together, she doesn't hide them. When she talks about her weekend plans, I am included without it being some big production. It is not that she is more affectionate or more public than Avery was. It is that she treats our relationship like it is real, like it matters, like I matter. Last week, Riley was telling me about this research study she is involved in at the hospital, and she said, "I was thinking you could help me understand the pre-hospital perspective. Would you want to come to the next meeting with me? I would love for the team to meet you." She wants her professional colleagues to meet me. She thinks my perspective could be valuable. She sees me as someone who adds to her life, not someone who threatens it. I keep thinking about that night at Emma's party when Avery told strangers she was single while I stood right there. How small I felt, how invisible, how I spent 2 years accepting that feeling, because I thought that was just how relationships worked sometimes. Now I know better. Real love doesn't hide. Real love doesn't calculate whether you are worth acknowledging. Real love doesn't treat you like a liability. Sometimes the person who calls you just a friend is doing you a favor. They are showing you exactly how little you mean to them, and giving you permission to find someone who thinks you are worth claiming. Edit. A few people asked what happened to Avery. I heard through mutual friends that she is still doing the influencer thing, still posting about being single and loving it. I genuinely hope she finds whatever she is looking for, but I am grateful it wasn't with me. Riley wanted me to tell you all that she says hi and that she is glad you helped me realize I deserved better. Yeah, I told her about posting here. Because when you are with the right person, you don't have to hide anything. This will be my last update. Time to focus on building something real with someone who has never made me question whether I exist in her world. Thanks for helping me see clearly. Reddit.